Hey guys, my name is Thana and welcome to my channel. I am at the Toyota headquarters here in Shah Alam and we've got a surprise for you. Yes, that is the new Yaris GR, and this is a vehicle I think which is one of those cars that come once in every 10 to 20 years, and this is one of those cars. And you're thinking, why Thana? What's so great about the Yaris? I'll tell you why. Why this Yaris is one of the best cars that's come out this year. Let's have a look and you'll be surprised. I guarantee that. Let's start. Welcome back. Before we get into what the Yaris GR is, well, GR stands for obviously Toyota Gazoo Racing. It's like imagine if you have your M Class or M Series from BMW, your AMG from Mercedes. Well, Toyota has got Gazoo Racing, and I'm just shocked how much of a attention to racing this car has opposed to normal specs. For one, to begin with, you would think this is Yaris, right? Well, the name Yaris is there, and yes, they use the front lights, and yes, they use the rear lights, but other than that, this is a totally new platform. I mean, even the chassis on this car is different. I think they believe they were cut from a TNGA platform plus with a CHR, something like that, but it's this chassis here isn't available in any other cars from Toyota. It's an all new platform because they had to fit in a four-wheel system here. It's got four-wheel drive. Yes guys, in 20 years, this is the first time Toyota's come up with a four-wheel drive system on a car. Because why? This car is track ready, ready for the rally, and obviously you would know by now that this car was designed for the WRC. And if you think about WRC, what do they need? Well, for WRC, they need a car that's light, they need a car that's punchy, a car that can have a four-wheel drive, and a car that can handle abuse, and everything about this car is just that. Now, let me walk you through some details that this car has, which I found was pretty interesting. Let's start with number one. Number one are the rims over here. These are 18 by 8J BBS rims, forged rims, and the brakes caught my attention. Well, this is a 4-pot disc brake, and it's 356 millimeters. Imagine that. It's even bigger than what is in the Supra. Can you believe that on a Yaris they give brakes better than their Supra, which goes to show that this is a car that took all possible measure to make it the best possible car they have. And if you see the tires here, these tires are a bit burned off. I think Tunku Jan had some fun on the track with this car. And yes, it comes with PS4S on 18-inch, which I wish they had before, because I could not find these tires here in Malaysia, but I hope now Michelin brings PS4S tires in 18-inch. Number two are this roof over here. Yes, this is not a sticker guys, this is an actual carbon fiber roof, obviously to make the top light, and the weight all the way down. And I mean, think about it, what car do you know you can get carbon fiber roof? Well, you can get with a Toyota Gazoo Racing Yaris. Wow! Number three, knock knock. You hear that? Something is wrong, isn't it? Why does it sound so flimsy? Well, it sounds flimsy because this isn't metal. Yes, these are actually some sort of aluminum composite. Yes, the back, the bonnet, the doors, as well as the hood, they're all made from aluminum. They're extremely light. You know, it sounds almost like plastic because they're actually very thin material, but the idea was they want the car to be as light as possible. It's starting to sound more like a, I don't know, like a supercar, isn't it? Like a McLaren or a Lotus. But yes, imagine that they went to the extent of making the car that much lighter. Even the rear bumper here. Look at this for a while. If I move this, you'll see how flimsy that is. That's because they even put in lighter plastics. I think in totality they saved about 26 kilograms in just making this lighter materials, and that's impressive. to give you an overall weight of only 1,280 kilograms. Extremely impressive, guys. Wow. Next to me must be these windows. Well, the whole car's frame has been stiffened up by using additional rivets, bolts, adhesive, that they actually were able to make this a frameless door frame, and it's beautiful, you know. So imagine you want a sporty car, but you want it to be also beautiful, and they managed to fit in a frameless window there. Isn't that amazing? Extremely nice, so beautiful, awesome. Next up, you must talk about the gear. It's a manual gear knob. Yes, guys, obviously, if you want a sporty feel, you must have a manual gear knob, and this is a manual gear knob. It's a manual. It's a manual in 2020, and yeah, it's beautiful. It's a manual gear knob, obviously, with leather wrapped gear knob, and yeah, manual. Next up, we have to talk about this button over here, IMT, the Intelligent Manual Transmission. What it does is it's an auto blip feature. So imagine if you are driving a manual, imagine for a while, and I know most of you are not. One of the biggest thing is that when you are on a track or on a very spirited drive, you got to find ways to rev match so you don't spoil the gearbox, or to not to shift your weight while driving, because if you do hard downshift, the weight transfer will make your car unsettled. So that button there makes sure that you have an ability to downshift, and the car will help you to rev match, so the car is downshifting in a seamless fashion. How beautiful is that? Now everybody can become like the Gujan. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. Next, we must talk about this little button over here, you know, push normal sport track, you know, and it sounds so, it looks so innocent, isn't it? A button which says push sport and track. What's so great about a button which says push sport and track? Well, this is what's so important about that button. Well, this car, as you know, it's a four-wheel drive system, but not just any four-wheel drive system. By default, it is 60% biased to the front, 40% to the back, which means like you get that front wheel drive experience, you get that assurance when you drive a car, you know where it's going, and it's very Japanese, you know what's happening over there, and it's fun to drive in let's say a rally kind of situation. But what say you want to go to Genting and you want to do that spirited drive? You know how we talk about the fact that you drive a BMW, it's rear wheel drive, you get that push in the back, it's such a excellent canyon cover, or going to Genting up, you know, it's just fantastic to drive a rear wheel drive car. Well, with the sport mode, what happens is it makes it 70% to the rear, 30% to the front, 70% to the rear and 30% to the front. It makes it a very spirited drive. You get that rear wheel drive feeling, and then the other one, which is the track mode, gives you a 50-50 split front to the back. How awesome is that? So basically, you buy one car, which is 300,000 ringgit, and you get three cars. A car that feels like a BMW, rear wheel drive, and does excellent canyon carving. A car that behaves like a rally car, and a car that is fantastic on the track. I want to show you this. These are pedals. You know how people say real men use three pedals? I don't know about that, but it has pedals. But one of the more unique thing about this pedal is this. If you see here, there's a piece of rubber here. It's a big rubber here, and this is just rubber meant to shield you. So if you are having racing boots and you're taking this on the track or the rally, you know, for the matter, you don't want this foot here to get stuck underneath. So this rubber is there to make sure your foot doesn't go under. Mind blown, guys, mind blown. If we spoke about the gear knob, well, I can't stop talking about the gear knob, but yes, let's move on. It's handbrake over here, and you'll say, Thana, what's the big deal? It's just a handbrake. Well, this is no ordinary handbrake. Well, for one, handbrakes are a forgotten thing nowadays, but this handbrake is pretty unique, guys. Think about this. This car is a four-wheel drive car. It's a four-wheel drive system. So it's when you pull a handbrake, what happens in a four-wheel drive car? Well, the rear is still spinning. There's still power there. You can't do much. It's only good for, well, parking brake, isn't it? It's a parking brake. That's what it is. But this is no parking brake. This is a handbrake paint machine, because what happens is when you pull that lever, the back axle is decoupled from the drive shaft, which means Toyota says, please, by all means, do handbrake turns. Oh, that is so exciting. That is just utterly amazing, Tell me a Porsche which does that. I don't think so. Toyota has outdone themselves this time.